Welcome back to another segment of the MCR. Mac and me, my name's TJ. And in this segment, this past week, just kind of want to reflect on the horrible incident that occurred in Lansing, Michigan State University. A guy walked into one of the university buildings, and they don't know why he did this, but began shooting and killing people. He killed 3 and wounded 5. Right off the bat, when I heard about it in the news, right off the bat, I had some suspicions, some, theories maybe. But in listening to the news reports, I didn't think it was a white guy, and I didn't think he used an AR. Because if he had, they doggone sure would have made that known. You know what I'm saying, Mac?
Yes.
In other words, because the media so badly wants to say an ultra right wing conservative committed a heinous crime with a high capacity, high powered AR. I mean, we've heard that spiel. We almost know that spiel by heart now because they so much like to say it. Well, because they didn't say it, I'm thinking, well, doesn't sound like a white dude with an AR. And sure enough, it was a person of I'll say different ethnicity with a 9mm, which it was a high capacity 9mm, but it wasn't an AR. So my suspicions were kind of on the mark right off the bat. What about you, Matt?
Well, I didn't have any suspicions about it. Of course, I cringed. I hate this kind of loss of life. Nobody should go to school and get murdered. But, of course, the usual suspects came out of the woodwork. Pig-face Alyssa Slotkin had to run up there because she wants Debbie Stabenow's Senate seat. So she had to stick her face up in there right away. And, of course, Gretchen Whitmer, she's going to use that as an opportunity to push her gun confiscation agenda, as is Dana Nessel, who said, we got to have gun control. And what she means by gun control, she means gun confiscation, because we can't be. This is almost unbelievable. And I'm not going to quote her because I don't have it in front of me, so I'll paraphrase it. But it was something to the effect of, we can't handle the criminal. We can't have stricter rules with the criminals because there's too many of them. Is that unbelievable or what?
It sounds typical, blah 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 from the left. The information I got was from the Gateway Pundit, and I guess the Gateway Pundit, what they were reporting was, Michigan doesn't necessarily track formal party registrations, but they refer to it as data vendors. Data vendors do tend to track the voters so that the Republicans or Democrats know who voters, So Gateway Pundit contacted a data vendor, and the data vendor asked to remain anonymous, so Gateway Pundit cannot cite the source of what they reported and what I'm about to say, but what Gateway Pundit does know, that the shooter was a registered Democrat, though he hasn't voted recently. They don't have the data from the 2022, but it doesn't appear that the shooter voted in 2020. So even though he's a registered Democrat, he's not too politically active, okay? But further down, it appears this guy checks all the liberal boxes. And what I mean by that is he's pro-abortion.
Well, let's say leftist boxes.
What's that?
I said, let's use the word leftist, not liberal, because there is a difference.
The actions President Trump had done involving Muslim ban on certain countries, he was opposed to that. Wanted to keep Social Security as is. Supports left-wing redistricting. The whole LGBTQ ABC. Let's see. He supports public transit and light rail expansion, more funding for government schools, minimum wage, illegal aliens. Supported Clinton in 2016, supports legalization of marijuana. opposes border wall. Like I said, he checks all the boxes: climate change,
Yeah,
uh,
all the
gay
leftist
marriage, and he's a
manifesto.
union guy. It appears he's a union guy. So like I said, he kind of checks all the boxes. So you wonder, what was his beef?
Well,
Unless,
I think it'll come out. I mean, of course, I don't know, and I'm not a doctor, but he sounds like just a nut. His father came out and made comments that after his mother died, and I don't know when that was, that he just turned evil. And this
uh,
is the kind of thing that evil does.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's why, like you say, he's got a warp or twisted mind, and clearly that's what's at play with. I mean, I guess a few hours later, about 5 miles away, they had him cornered. At which point he committed suicide. But uh, because he committed suicide, they're not really sure uh, what motivated him to do this. Let me
Was there a
see.
note or anything that you're aware of? I haven't heard that.
No, I haven't heard of any note either. Uh, all they could do is he had prior gun charges, but they were knocked down to misdemeanors because the
Well, there's
gun he
this,
used was legally purchased. And of course, they ask, "Have you committed any felonies?" So if you say no, I haven't committed any felonies, and no felonies pop on the background check,
right,
you
because they
know.
won't.
So and then this going easy on crime, it comes back to haunt you.
Well,
Uh,
haunt you is one thing. Getting a phone call that your child has been killed by a lunatic because the Democrats want equity and justice, which means no
well,
justice.
also not too long, and they say within the past week, well, within the week of the incident, uh, I guess a family relative had requested a wellness check on the guy, going to the point this guy wasn't well, you
Well,
know.
his own father said that he was evil or had
So
turned evil.
so here we go. I, Gosh, and it's going to be horrible of me, but boy, am I glad it wasn't a someone associated with the right. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at
It
now.
almost never is the whole point.
Well, Buffalo wasn't, Parkland shooter in Florida wasn't. I mean, it the guy in California wasn't. So, but they so badly are looking for the occasion when it is. And I say
Well,
they
that's
being
because they're not
mainstream
journalists.
media. What's that?
They're not journalists. They are propagandists now. That's the elephant in the room. That's why I said it's important to say leftists, not liberals. And it's the media are not journalists. They're propagandists, state run by the Democratic Party. They are the information. They are the Joseph Goebbels.
Because of a warped and twisted mind, us law-abiding citizens are compelled to feel like you got to gear up while you can. You know, get your high-capacity mags now. I see us turning into New York and California, and I don't think we're that far from it.
Well, if
You know,
our governor Gretchen Whitmer, as Kim liked to call her, um, gets her way, yeah, there'd be a total disarmament in this state. And you know
I
what? Leaving more people unprotected to these kind of nuts, that makes complete sense to me.
and now is not the time to be unprotected when you think of all this other goofy stuff that's going on that we haven't even talked about in this segment. Balloons and whatnot. I feel like we're entering into a dangerous time, and dangerous from every angle that you look at it. You know, so that's all I got. That's all
All
I
right.
got in this one. I almost feel like I almost wanted to do a segment on how prepared are you, because
Well, that can be
because
on our agenda
you
for
got
sure.
to get prepared. I'll tell you. You know, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, had anyone been prepared at Michigan State University, maybe this guy would have killed maybe one person, and then he wouldn't have got a chance to commit suicide because someone would have put him down.
And from what I hear, there was security in the lobby, but he was unarmed. you
Well, he's
know,
no different than anyone else then.
Yep, yep. And so that's all I got.
Alrighty.
We'll call this one a wrap. Just for those lollygagging, you might want to just start preparing. So we'll leave it at that, and catch you in the next segment. As always, be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me.